Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome back to another video. I know I've been gone for a while, and I did make that update like a few days ago. And yeah, I'm finally back, and we're kicking things off with another discussion video. And today, the topic is Pyra and Mythra, and whether or not they're like top 2 at least in the game. And while I personally felt like they weren't, you know, Summit Day 3 happened, and now I kinda believe that they are now, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the way, like, Leo handled Mars and the way, like, Spargo just played really well and just, like, straight up obliterated Zachary. I'm just like, maybe they are that good. It could just be them. Because, you know, Smash at a top level, like, it's always, like, I always feel like the player is carrying the character. Like, when you see Void or Leo play Byleth, it's always the player. But in this case, it might just be both, you know? So, anyway, we're gonna read some of the responses from you guys on Twitter. And yeah, let's get started. So just a little bit of a disclaimer. I tried to like quote retweet this morning to get more responses, because a lot of these responses are before it's Summit Day 3, so no one saw like what happened yesterday. So it's kind of like, so some opinions might have changed, I assume. But anyway, Mystery says, they're not overrated, but they're definitely top 2. Probably top 5, but Pika and Joker are top 2. And like I said, I did agree with this. But they might be second. I mean, they beat, like, Leo feels like they beat Joker, and you know they definitely beat ZSS. It's like, I mean, but a lot of top tiers have losing matchups to characters that are lower too. Like when you think about, you know, Peach can like sometimes lose to Byleth and you know stuff like that. Our next tweet comes from Undutiful Hades, and they say, currently I think they're top 3. My order of top 3 is Joker, Pika, and Aegis. I think a lot of people let Mythra get away with too much on Shield, and Joker and Pika have BS that let them get away with more than Mythra or Pyra can. Think Arsene and Pikachu is just amazing in general. I do agree that a lot of people let Mythra get away with doing moves on Shield. If Mythra does an up tilt on your Shield, even if it's spaced, it's usually punishable by most of the cast. Like if you have a good nair out of Shield, or like any, like, you can probably even grab it, honestly. Down tilt, even if you space it, like, especially, like, here's the thing, alright? Like, I know a lot of people don't like parry baiting, but, like, you can just, like, flicker your shield and get a parry and punish. The only thing you need to really be afraid of is the down tilt cross-ups that a lot of Mythras don't do, and straight up the nair cross-ups as well. Like, those are the only things I'd be really worried about, but if you can parry, then you should be fine. Not only that, but if the Mythra just unspaces anything on shield, if it's unspaced, it's a lot of Mythras also don't even know how to space, to be honest. You can just punish them. I try to help my friends with the matchup, and they don't let me get away with anything, which also helps me be better, so I don't like end up slacking off or whatever. And yeah, Pikachu, I would say Pikachu is probably better too, even though he has trouble getting stocks sometimes, because you know he has the pancake and he can just keep, you know, being relentless and stuff, and so can Joker, and Joker has Arsene. Well, we can never fully agree on who's better, you know, we just say who's top 2 or who's top 3. So our next tweet comes from False Show Minazuki, and they say, together they may be top 10 or top 5 at best. I personally think that they are top 5, specifically in the number 3 spot because they're just a pseudo Joker who's top 2 in the meta. Although I used to think they could potentially replace Joker as number 2, but I was proven wrong later. And okay, so I kind of feel like I phrased the tweet kind of wrong, because I didn't mean like specifically top 2, I just wanted to know how people felt about them in general, but you know, I probably could have been a little bit more clear. But yeah, a lot of people think that they're not top 2, but they're like top 3 at best. And while I did agree with that, like I said earlier, they might just be wrong. Pyra Mythra might actually be that good, but they're just number 2. And like, I mean, I was reading tweets from the top players at Summit, and they were all saying, oh, we all agree that they're the best of the game. And then if they say it, then, you know, they might be saying something that we don't. Well, of course, we have to wait for the meta to develop still, especially for offline. That's why, personally, I feel like it's too soon to start calling for nerfs and stuff like that, just because I feel like it's still too early, especially since a lot of people were complaining last patch. All they did was tweak Lightning Buster and, like, fix their F smash so where you can actually hit them. And I think that's it. Oh, and they got rid of the Foresight, or like the invincible air dodge to ledge, which I think was a mistake to begin with. But yeah, that was pretty much all that happened with the nerfs. Alright, next tweet comes from Luke, and they say overrated. They have their very dumb DLC aspect, don't get me wrong, but I have a suspicion that given time, they'll start to get picked apart at top level. And yeah, I agree. Like, dealing with Pyro, for one, Pyro is also very scary. but her disadvantage state is really bad. If you saw the comeback that Tweak did against Leo in Winners Finals, like Game 3, where he was down by so much, and then Leo stayed Pyra for too long and just got obliterated, like, Pyra is not that good at disadvantage, or like at all. So like, if you can just swat her away and keep her in check, and then, you know, focus on the recovery. Of course, the Aegis recovery meta is also like advancing like rapidly. So there's all kinds of mix-ups that we have, but aren't really even using yet, to be honest. But like what Luke said, there's definitely going to be, you know, a time where Pyra and Mythra are just going to get obliterated because everybody knows the matchup. Because, you know, there's a lot of characters that do well against them, like, what do you call it, Wolf does good. A lot of characters can just really do well against their disadvantage state, but that's if they get in disadvantage state. So, like, I feel like there's a lot of even matchups, but then there's a lot of really bad matchups. Alright, and our next tweet comes from TC, and they say, as a Pyra Mythra main, my honest opinion is that Pyra gets overshadowed by Mythra. I don't like it when I see someone using one over the other, when both of them should be played equally. That's my answer. Sorry if it's not 100% what you're after. Honestly, you're getting a lot of... I asked my opinion about the character. I didn't really mean specifically are they top 2 or not, so I guess this works. And yeah, I feel that way too. I get so heated sometimes when I see solo Pyra in tournament. I'm like, what are you doing? But at the same time, like, you can just play whoever you want, honestly. It doesn't really matter that much. It's on you though if you lose for not switching. Like, I like having an even mix of both, like Spargo. That's my favorite thing. But I also like comboing and doing foresight stuff with Mythra. Like, my favorite thing to do is fight projectile characters, so I can just foresight through them and just combo them anyway. That's like my favorite thing to do. But I also spend so much time on Mythra that my Pyra kind of falls behind. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. And it's really hard sometimes because it's two different characters. So, I mean, they might be like pseudo Echo Fighter like, but they have different weights, different air speeds, you know, different, you know, everything in a way. So it might look the same, but not really. They have their own things going on. There you have it. That's the general consensus, is that they are not top 2. By the way, this is before Summit top 8, so maybe a lot of them changed their opinions. Who knows? But yeah, how do you guys feel watching this video? Be sure to let me know in the comments, because I definitely feel like I'm somewhere in the middle, because I feel like, yeah, they're top 2, but then they could also be top 3, because everyone already believes they're top 3 to begin with. So, like, either way, they're both really good characters. Alright, and that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to see more discussion videos, you guys have more topics for me to talk about, be sure to let me know in the comments below, or on my Twitter at kbandz. Be sure to check it out in the description below. And yeah, by the way, before I go, if you are part of the Genshin squad, I am streaming my Raiden Shogun rolls on Wednesday, so if you want to come through and hang out with me, then I'm going to be live maybe around like 10:30 EST on Wednesday after maintenance. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'll see you guys all in another video. Take care of yourselves and have a good one.